It's the sprint race here at Jerez. Lights go out, away we go. A little bit of a launch from Jack Miller, but look at the KTMs off the start. They are like bullets when they get going, and it's a 1 and 2 for Miller and for in behind him Brad Binder. Where's Danny Pedrosa gone from the start?
He got a bad start. The thing wheelied really early on. I was keeping my eye on him. He's already sort of about 5th or 6th.
There's a collision in there. Riders down.
Morbidelli's down.
Oh, and that's
Márquez. Championship leader. Bezzecchi's down.
Marco Bezzecchi on the outside. A massive collision in there. I feel we may well get a red flag here because there's bikes. There's Morbidelli in the middle of the track. That was carnage, really, wasn't it, in the middle of Michelin corner?
It's so tight on that part of the track, and it's a sprint race, so everyone's trying to be aggressive, but there's no room. Of course, there was a collision, and yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a red flag, to be honest.
Oh, here comes Pecco Bagnaia through on the inside of Aleix. So he dropped from first. He really is aggressive. He rubbed up the inside thigh of Aleix Espargaro. That was a horrible first couple of corners. This track is notoriously hard to pass on. It's narrow, and we've already seen when we got the whole field in a sprint race, 3 of them gone out. I'm being told Alex Márquez is also got a red flag. Red flag's being thrown.
The right thing to do.
We will get a restart in this race, and we'll get another 12 laps. Arms go up now. This is going to be an interesting one in terms of tyres. Do you stick with the same tyre that you've already started with, and so on and so forth? We get a chance to go again. There's a bike on fire. It is the VR46 of Marco Bezzecchi. Lights go out and away we go for the second time, and another great launch. This time Aleix really tries to cover up Jack Miller up to turn 1, and it hasn't worked because Brad Binder's now come around the outside and Miller into second in turn 1. So it's still a KTM 1-2, but it's Binder on top this time. Martin more aggressive on this occasion, and Bagnaia comes through past Aleix, who's back to 5th. This time are they through turn 2 safely? Thank goodness they are. Yeah,
Bagnaia very aggressive down into turn 2 there. Dived up the inside of Aleix Espargaro and really pushed him wide. Look, and there's a bit of a gap there already. Bezzecchi went so wide there. He took too much curb in the braking zone, and it's cost him probably 2 or 3 places. Danny Pedrosa has dropped down to about 8th place. Yeah, it is 8th. Just dropped a couple of spots from his start from the second row of the grid on the 3rd KTM factory bike as a wild card this weekend. It's been great to see the old Danny back as Jorge Martin aggressive in Angel Nieto corner on the first go round. I thought Jack Miller was going to do the old go straight back. Yeah, so did he. I mean, there wasn't quite room, unfortunately, but he had a look. And actually on these long hanging corners, it really helps you finish the corner off, and Binder's an absolute master of that. And the master of overtaking under the brakes is Jack Miller, and he gets through on Jorge Martin at Danny Pedrosa corner. That was a late one. Like he can turn that Ducati just that little bit tighter everywhere. He's going to go to the inside here. Yes, he is. This is where he went through on Jack. Easy. On the last lap, Jack will try and cut through onto the inside. This time he saw it coming, didn't he, Miller? And he comes back at Peluquis corner. Good battle this. It's helping Binder out front. Yeah, you're right. Miller was so ready for that. Oh, no. I'm going to say, don't try it there, Jorge Martin. Well, he's going to open up the door. Is he for Pecco Bagnaia? Thought about it, but decides to do the right thing and sit in behind Martin. Here we go. Look at Bagnaia's exit. How close was that? I mean, that was incredible from Pecco Bagnaia. He was lined that up, didn't he? Once he saw Martin have a go at Miller, he lined it up and said, I'm going to get you down into the final corner, and he's done just that. I thought, Aleix has gone for it. He had to, but he's going to go wide. He's going to get cut back. He will have the inside line, though, into turn 3. It's like red rag to a bull, though, for Aleix, because the last thing he wants to see is his old bike from last year coming past him. And up the home straight this occasion, here comes Miller on the inside of his teammates. Sideways Miller coming through. Let's not forget, he won his first ever race on the Ducati here, and he fancies a piece of sprint action. It's so funny, you wouldn't think a track like this would suit Miller. You know, the corner speed, long hanging corners, but thankfully there's enough sort of stop-starts. So that looks like turn 2, second crash at turn 2. For Alex Márquez this afternoon. Here we go again, Neil. Yeah, it's downhill. There's no camber there. It probably, I was about to say he's going to lose the front, but it was definitely at the point where you touched the throttle. Strange crash, maximum lean. Pecco Bagnaia, is he going to try and line this up like he did on Jorge Martin on the previous lap? But if he wants to do it on Brad Binder, he's got a job to do. It's really hard to outbrake Binder, and he's shown just why. Exactly why. It's almost impossible to outbrake Binder. They're turning the KTM into a consistent performer. They seem to have sorted out qualifying, and now in the racing too. This is Taka Nakagami. What a strange crash. It's now in the sprint race. They get that after 1. Oh! Down goes Aleix. Unreal. He's crashed out in the stadium section. They were all giving him so much support from pole position.
On board we go with the South African. Miguel Oliveira and Dani Pedrosa having a rare old battle. I think Pedrosa got through at his own corner. Is he going to get him at Aspar now?
Certainly is.
There's life in the old dog. Yeah, wow. Wow. Miguel Oliveira wipes the nose of Dani Pedrosa into the stadium. This is brilliant action. It's a sorry start to his Repsol Honda career. Dream of any Spanish rider to ride for that squad. You can see him trying to save it on his elbow desperately. At turn 6, and it's not to be. At the front, which of these 4 will be standing on the podium or standing on the main straight? Oh, that's wide from Miller again.
Yeah, he'll pull it back, but he was wide, he was deep. The problem is, right, you know you've got Binder behind you, you have to rush every corner, because you know he's so late on the break. Here he comes
into Dani Pedrosa corner for Brad Binder.
What? How is that possible? I mean, it was on the lock stop there. But at the point in the corner, what a talent Brad Binder is to slide a motorcycle like that.
Unfortunately, it meant that he lost the position. He knew he was going to have to work hard to outbrake Jack Miller. There's smoke coming off the rear tyres from these two. Again, look at Miller's line through Sito Pont's corner. This will just surely enable Brad Binder to have a lunge again down into turn 6. Is he going to go to the outside this time? Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
He has.
And is he going to bring it down?
Stopped? Surely not.
Can't now.
Oh, the problem is when it comes that far, it's going to high side you.
He's going to have him in turn 7. Unbelievable from Binder. Is there a hinge in the middle of the KTM? That was incredible from Binder, and he stayed in the bike to bring it back for turn 7.
If you could get a stills shot of that, you would not believe how out of line that was, whilst Binder's got his knee firmly on the deck.
Final lap time of the Jerez circuit. Who's it going to be? Take your pick, Binder or Miller. Bagnaia also wants a piece of the silver medal, but every single corner, Brad Binder's got the bike sideways. I mean, he's so in control.
It's a unique way to ride. It's like he's on a supermoto bike. To be that far out of line on a MotoGP bike with these Michelin tyres that don't give you a lot of feedback, a lot of feeling, but on a hot, greasy track, when you've got the talent of Brad Binder, it enables him to use his strength, which is braking lanes, and I tell you what, he has broke Jack Miller.
And here comes Miller under pressure now from his former teammate Pecco Bagnaia, but I don't think Bagnaia can do Miller from there. Miller's going to have to run it a little bit wide, and Bagnaia's going to come through. Oh, I hope Jack Miller manages to hang on. He deserves at least a podium out of this race now, but Bagnaia has got through. I'm sure Miller will try and have a go back somewhere on this final lap.
Yeah, the problem for Miller is he's got Jorge Martin, and Jorge Martin might try and nick it into the stadium here. No, he's not close enough. This is going to, well, close your eyes on the last corner with these 3. Binder's got this.
He has this, surely, unless Pecco Bagnaia can come up with something in this final sequence of corners at the brilliant Jerez circuit. Has served up the sprint race that we expected, and it's going to be Brad Binder, surely for the 2nd time this season, to take victory in the sprint, just as he did in Argentina. Who will ever forget his race victory from the back of the grid here, back in the Moto3 class? From the back to victory, and he's done it again, this time from the 2nd row of the grid. Brad Binder wins the sprint race in Jerez. Bagnaia is 2nd, 3rd place for Jack Miller, with Jorge Martin coming home in 4th spot. Miguel Oliveira is 5th, with Dani Pedrosa making it 3 KTMs in the top 6. What a race.